Regular viewers will know that we've reviewed quite a few Engwe electric bikes, which you can check out in the playlist up here. So what makes the new L20 3.0 different? Well, Engwe seem to have taken the best bits from the rugged Engine X, the light and compact P20 and the load-carrying previous version of the L20. So have they come up with a perfect folding electric bike? Stick with us to find out. Don't forget to check out our other videos on everything campervan and motorhome related, from solar to water, heating to gadgets, tyres to trips. If you like this video, please do hit the thumbs up, it really does help me to know what you like, and you can ask any questions or give feedback in the comments. If you want to make sure you don't miss any of our future videos, please hit the subscribe button, and clicking the bell will give you a notification when a new video goes live. Finally, if you do decide to hit the thumbs down, it would be great if you could also leave a comment so I know what you didn't like. There are a number of things you may want when it comes to an electric bike. If they are fully EU and UK compliant, smooth pedal assist and braking, compact and folding, a comfy riding position, good load carrying and fast charging, well, the L20 3.0 ticks all the boxes, so let's get on with a closer look. There are two models in the L20 3.0 range, the Boost that we're looking at today and the Pro that we'll talk about a little later in the video. Both currently have £100 off, and you can get free gifts and an extra £100 off by using the links and offer codes in the video description. The offer codes can be used on any of the Engwe range, so you're sure to find a bike that suits your needs. But now let's get on and look at the L20 3.0 Boost. As always, the bike arrived well packaged and with comprehensive instructions for the final assembly, which was a simple task. Let's take a look at the key features. The L20 3.0 is a full suspension bike with a single rear shock, a 250 watt hub motor with 75 Nm of torque, hydraulic disc brakes, a removable 648 watt hour 48 volt battery. The power assistance is managed using the more advanced torque sensor rather than a basic cadence sensor. At the front you can mount an optional front rack, and the front shocks have adjustment and lockout. A 7-speed Shimano gear system makes for easy pedalling, and chunky yet comfortable on-road tyres give great grip. That rear rack can take 25 kilograms. Up front you have a clear display and the all-important boost button, which you'll see in action later. For convenience, the battery can be charged on or off the bike. The killer feature of the L20 is its ability to fold, making it easier to store. It's a simple case of folding the handlebars and then the frame. As usual, we've brought the L20 3.0 here to the British Cycling closed road circuit to put it through its paces. So where the Engwe L20 version 3 differs to some of other Engwe bikes is that it doesn't have a throttle at all, so you can't enable the throttle, and it cannot be unrestricted on speed. So you're always restricted to that 15 mph limit that's the legal maximum in the UK and EU. However, what you do have is this natty little boost button, which if you're heading towards a hill, as we are shortly, you can hit the boost button to maximise the amount of power coming from the motor. And that's what we're going to be doing here. I'm dropping down the gears. The engine's still there. As we start to hit the hill, I'm going to hit the boost button now. I can see boost come up on the screen, and it's helping me up. I'm in quite a low gear, but it's still very easy to get up here with the added boosting. even without the boost button pushed, and we'll go round again in a minute without using boost, we'll see how it copes in that scenario. But right now, it's super smooth. I'm on power assistance level 5. Now, right now, I'm doing 20 miles an hour going down the hill, so the motor's doing nothing because it's hit that limit of 15 miles per hour. To hit that 15 miles an hour now, and the motor has kicked back in. So what I'm going to do for this lap is just keep going, toddling along just at the speed where the motor is assisting, just to keep it super relaxed and easy. It is quite easy to pedal faster than that 15 miles an hour when the motor cuts out, especially if you're in a high gear. But if you can keep it lower and let the motor do the work, it is a really easy, smooth and simple ride. And with the added benefit of that boost button when you need it, I'm not sure there's many hills that this wouldn't help get you up. And we're coming up to the end of the lap now. And that was very simple and easy. So this lap's going to be a very similar lap. We've still got the power assistance on level 5, which means it's giving me the maximum amount of assistance it can up to those limits. And the reason Engwe have removed the throttle on this model of bike and made it so you can't disable that speed limit is that many EU countries have now become a lot stricter in the bikes, electric bikes that can be used. And there have been cases of bikes with a throttle, even with it disabled, and with a speed limiter that can be disabled, being fined or even being confiscated. So Engwe have made the decision to make it so that there's no throttle on the bike that can be disabled or enabled, and that you can't change that upper speed limit. So there's no risk at all of any prosecution or confiscation of your bike. We're now coming up to that steep hill again, so this time I'm not going to use the boost button. I'm going to go into a similar, and yeah, in this case I am having to give more assistance to get up here than I did when I could hit the boost button. So it definitely shows that that boost does help. However, for the rest of the lap, it's probably going to be very similar. Same as last time, I'm going to let the bike go below that 15 miles per hour limit so that the motor is doing most of the work. And coming into the end of the lap now, and yeah, it was very similar to last time, but I suspect we'll see in the stats when we look later that that boost button does make a difference going up the hill. Okay, so regular viewers will know that this is the lap that I hate the most. So I've now got the power turned off on the bike and I'm only doing it with pure leg power. Now straight away I can see a difference between the L20 and the previous L20 and the engine series of bikes. The tyres on this are much smoother, and it is definitely got less rolling resistance than those more rugged bikes with their really chunky off-road tyres. Now it doesn't mean this can't go off-road, they're still reasonably chunky, but they do have a nice smooth finish, so that on the road you've got that better performance. It's probably a good balance. We'll be trying it out off-road later just to see how it performs. So I'm now coming up to the hill where both the level 5 power assistance and the boost that you used in the first round really helped me. None of that helped this time, so I'm right down into the lowest gear. Now it does have a nice low gear, so I think I am going to be okay. Apologies for the shakes coming up here as I stand up. Yes, that first gear is quite low. The bike is a bit lighter than some of the others, so it is possible to get up the hill. Obviously quite a bit more effort though. Now thankfully it's downhill, so up into top gear, and we'll see how we do as we're pedalling on the back straight. So now we're on the back straight. I'm going to, for consistency, try and keep going at around that 14-15 miles an hour. But as you can probably already tell, without the power assistance, it is a lot more difficult. The riding position on the L20 version 3 is sit up and beg. It's not very dynamic, but it is very comfortable. And the step through design makes it really easy to get on and off. And for popping around town, going to the shops, maybe a little bit of off-road trail riding, then it does seem a really good option. So we're at the end of that run, and as expected, it was quite a lot more effort. So taking a look at the stats, there are no surprises. Using the boost function increased our average speed slightly and kept my heart rate a little bit lower. And with no power assistance, my average heart rate was significantly higher and the average speed lower. Now the L20 3.0 comes from a pedigree of rugged bikes, so let's see how it does off-road. With that full suspension and the chunky tyres, it is pretty comfortable, and being able to hit that boost button on the uphills, it swallows them up. A key advantage of the L20 3.0 over the last version is the speed of charge. It comes with Engwe's fast charge functionality. You can see the unit is bigger compared to the standard one, but it means it can charge in as little as 2 hours. So what do we think? Well, with its full suspension, fast charging, that really helpful boost function, its flexible load carrying, the superior torque sensor, its folding design, and its balance of on and off-road performance, all whilst managing to keep within the EU and UK rules, make it quite possibly the best choice in its class. And using our link and discount codes, you can get it for just £1,199 plus some free gifts. But what about that Pro model? What do you get for the extra few £100? Well, it adds an extra 25 Newton meters of torque delivered through a mid-drive rather than a hub motor, meaning the bike could be slightly better balanced. Plus it has the added anti-theft functions of internet connected alarm and tracking. But it's got a job on its hands against the boost. Don't forget that if neither the L20 3.0 Boost or Pro tick your boxes, you can get discount on the full range of Engwe electric bikes using the links and discount codes in the video description. Thanks for watching our video, and as always, if you have any questions or feedback, please pop them in the comments below. If you find the video useful, please like, share and consider subscribing.